Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Jorel.solis, and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in, listening to what I have to say. It's super awesome, and I can't thank you guys enough for the likes, the comments, subscribing, and all that great stuff. It's such a blessing, and I'm so thankful to have the opportunity to use this platform to help as many of you as I can grow their businesses. Because I'm in that same boat. I'm still growing my business. I just started a couple years ago. This is my first six-figure year, and all I want to do is document my journey and help others grow their business as well. So. If you're an entrepreneur just starting out, if you're in home services and you're trying to grow your business, I think this is a great channel for you, because to top it all off, I'm going to teach you guys how to do it without a large budget, because I know a lot of us start from not much. So, but it's possible to get there, and I'm doing it, and I want to show you exactly what to do so you can do it yourself. Now, with that all being said, I am actually trying to be a little bit more intentional with the videos that I'm creating. I know I did a long, hour-long video recently that kind of broke down a few different things. Moving forward, especially over the next few weeks, I want to do a little bit more of a deep dive into specific categories of marketing and how they can help you, why they're important, why you should do them, and all that good stuff. But that also being said, I'm going to talk about multiple different avenues, but and you can grow with any of these, but the trick is to have a little bit of all of them. It's use the fishing in the line, or the fishing analogy, right? You put one line in the water, you can catch one fish. But if you have 10 lines, there's a lot more opportunity. And that's a lot with marketing. There's paid marketing, there's SEO marketing, there's digital, obviously with SEO, but there's social media marketing, there's good old fashioned door knocking, and just old school marketing. There's so many different ways. And if you really want to grow, you want to do a little bit of it all. So keep that in mind. But today, we're going to specifically dive into door knocking. This is one that honestly isn't my specialty, but I've done a little bit of it. I've had some success when I have done it, but I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, because I don't lie to you guys. It's just not what I like to do. But I do understand how impactful it can be, and so once I do get a technician on board, I will start doing a little bit more door knocking once I have a little bit more time on my hands, because I don't want to just give him a route and just kick my feet up and think, oh, I've made it now. Now I want to be working on the business and growing. And yes, I can make content, but I mean, how much content can you make? And yeah, there's plenty. I'm not saying that there's not. I'm just saying that door knocking will be a part of the business growth plan for me. But today we're going to talk about door knocking, why it matters, the benefits of it, a couple of the strategies, along with some of the challenges that go into it, and as well as who should be doing it. So let's just go ahead and jump right in, right? What is door knocking? Like I mentioned, it's traditional, good old-fashioned grassroots marketing, man. It's a way for you to immediately build relationships. It's a great way for you to grow your business quickly. It is just, it's real and it's authentic. It's an awesome way, especially in the home service businesses, especially for lawn care, pest control. I mean, I can't think of any home service that is really not great for you, other than, you're going to have people that have electrical and plumbing problems. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be knocking on doors saying, hey, can we fix your plumbing and electrical work? But a lot of the other stuff, pool cleaning, window washing, driveways, all this stuff can be used specifically towards those types of home service markets and works. Sorry, I'm a little tongue tied right now, but Yeah, if you're doing something like that, this could be great for you. It's especially great for those that are just starting, brand new entrepreneurs just trying to get the word out, and those that are looking to grow their business quickly, because you can do it. And it's also for those people who have a very, very small budget to work with, because door knocking, it's very inexpensive, it's time consuming, but that's really all that it is. You're going to put a little bit of money in gas, and other than that is just sweat equity. So it can be very, very profitable for you as well, because you're not spending a whole lot, but you can grow very, very efficiently, and yeah, you can do really great things with it. So why does it matter? Again, like I mentioned, it is the old fashioned is real. And some of the great things about it are you can get leads, sales, and services all in the very same day, which is great. That's the name of the game. You don't want to have a lot of time from the time you talk to a customer to the time you service. The goal is to really minimize that time. So whenever you can do same day services or within 24-hour services, that's going to really put you with a leg up against the competition, because with pest control in particular, they're calling and they're reaching out because they have a need. It's the same thing when you're door knocking, and you bring up that that you're doing services, or that their neighbors are having an issue, and then there's a really good chance that if somebody on that street or some neighbors are having that issue, they're going to be dealing with that same issue. So once you bring it up to them, now you're reminding them, and they're going to want it taken care of pretty quickly. So another great thing is you can get to that service quick. Say, yeah, my truck's right here. Let me go ahead and knock it out for you. So again, it's very, very beneficial for those types of reasons. Again, some of the benefits: service the same day, and you're going to get a lot of feedback. You can also find out exactly what I said, what's going on. If you talk to 3 or 4 customers on one street and they're saying, yeah, the wasps have been really bad, well, now you can use that knowledge and really incorporate it into your script when you talk to the next customer. You can use exactly what's happening, and that feedback is really helpful. I mean, it really is. If you are knocking on a neighborhood that's backed up to a cornfield or something, you can understand that, hey, there's going to be a lot of field mice around here. And when you talk to those customers saying, hey, I see the field is back here, are you seeing some mice? And they say, yeah. Well, again, if they're having that issue, 9 times out of 10, the neighbors around them are having that same exact issue. So you're able to get real-time feedback to use, and to talk to the next customer, which is great. That's the name of the game. And then another benefit is it's skill building, and I mean that because I'm going to go into it in just a second with door knocking, but it's such a mentally tough job and thing to do. I mean, people are going to say, oh, I've done door knocking, and they went and knocked on 10 doors and they got told no 7 times, and then they say, yeah, I'm not doing that, it doesn't work. It's just not true. And your mental toughness for door knocking, you have to be a really, really mentally tough person to be able to be successful with it. And that's one of the things that it's going to help, but with so many other skills as well. Being able to sound more confident, learning a good script, learning so much. I mean, there's so much that you're going to learn with door knocking. How to handle objections. The list is a mile long of the things that you can work on while you're door knocking. Time efficiency. You're going to learn on what neighborhoods to knock on. You're going to learn real quick on what kind of customer. And people will say every customer is a potential yes, and if those salesmen that are like that, maybe they are, but you're also going to learn things that you can use specifically for you. You can say, all right, this home, you're going to get a feel for it, is all I'm going to say. You're going to learn how to read a lot of the similarities between a lot of people, and it helps you. It really does. It's going to help you. So that's another one of the great benefits from it, is the skill building. And again, all the other stuff. The biggest benefit, though, like I mentioned before, is just being able to scale and grow your business in a rapid pace. Because when you're knocking on that door and you get that service, you build momentum. And it's true, it really is. When you get a little bit of momentum, like that snowball effect, it's just going downhill, it's rolling, and it gets hard to stop. That's what happens with door knocking. You make one sale, then you make another sale, and they just start coming in. And that's because you start getting momentum and you start getting confidence, and you're able to knock on these doors, and you're able to perfect your script a little bit more and more each time, and it just works more and more and more and more. And before you know it, you're going to start off one day making one sale or getting one lead, and 2 weeks later you're like, man, I closed 7 sales today. And it really is that's what happens. Talk to any door knockers, they'll tell you, when they're clicking and they're getting those sales. That's why they're knocking on your door late at night. It's because they don't want the day to end, because they're on fire. They're just knocking out sale after sale after sale. And again, that's what happens whenever you get that momentum and you're able to grow. And the great thing is you're able to grow and build route density. And in pest control, home services, lawn care, all that great stuff, that is what you want. You want to be able to go onto one street, let alone one neighborhood, but just be on one street and say, okay, yeah, I got to spend the next 3 days on this specific street. I mean, think of how efficient you're going to be and how little money you're going to spend, because you can park on in one spot. You can do this house, that house, and that house, and then across the street you can do that house, and that house. You can do 3 homes without ever moving your truck. You're not turning your truck on. You're not spending anything on gas. I mean, I don't know about you, but that sounds like the life right there. If I could do 6 houses right here, drive 20 feet and do another 6 houses, that's a full day for you right there. That's $1,000 day, and all you had to do was drive to that location. So that right there is very, very, very appealing, and that is one of the reasons door knockers and pest control and lawn service companies love door knocking, because of the route density. You can really have a lot of accounts in one area, and that is a really, really great way to grow your business and be very profitable. So that's it. Benefits are the speed with your leads, your sales. You can do your services right away. If you're there, if your truck is ready and you're in your uniform and you're able to do it right then and there, do it. If not, set it up for tomorrow. Say, hey, listen, I'll be back tomorrow to knock out all these services. I'm going to put you on that route to do it as well. You're going to get some really good feedback, and then you are going to work on so many different skills. So there's a lot of great benefits with door knocking. Let's talk about some of the challenges that come along with door knocking, and there are a few. The biggest one is that it's time consuming. I've gotten into digital marketing and talked about that on why I love it, because you don't have to be out there on the doors to get those sales. They have to be looking for you. It's great. And again, that's the opposite with door knocking. You have to be knocking on doors to get in front of these people. So it is time consuming, but as you get better at it, it's worth it. I mean, like I said, my buddy Jason, he's been able to grow to over 500 accounts with door knocking, and he's only a year ahead of me, and he's double my size. So again, it's very, 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 very worth it. If that's you, then do it. Even if it's not you, then do it, because you're going to learn a lot about yourself, and you might realize that it is for me, and it's a great way to grow. But the thing is, it's just time consuming. But that when you're in the beginning stages of your business, I'm going to tell you right now, speaking from personal experience, the one thing that you have in abundance that first year of business, or that first 6 months, that first 6 months of business, is time. You're going to have a lot of time, because you got your hat, you got your shirts, you got your truck, you got your product, and you got your equipment. But the one thing you don't have is customers. So you can You can sit around scrolling through Facebook, seeing who needs pest control, and you can post on Google and Facebook and do those things, or you can just get your ass out there, bust your ass, and go get some customers. And that's what I recommend you do, because again, it's time consuming, but in the beginning, you're gonna have plenty of time. Understand that. You're gonna have a lot of time to get out there and knock on the doors. So take advantage of it, because it's not always gonna be like that. Like I mentioned before, for myself, once I get a customer, once I get a technician and I have some more time to do that, I'm absolutely going to be doing it. I hate door knocking. It's uncomfortable, but that is exactly why I'm going to do it. That, and I know that I can grow my company with it. But again, right now I'm doing 8 to 10 stops a day, so I just don't have the time to go do a lot of door knocking. But when you only have one customer, when you're getting 2 customers a week, and it's a slow progress, you know. Remember, this thing is a marathon, not a sprint, so it's gonna be slow, but it's all right. Enjoy it, you know. Just embrace it, enjoy it, and get out there and use it as motivation to grow your business. So while you have the time, get out there and knock those doors. Just get out there and do it. It's gonna help you grow. Like I mentioned before, it's extremely tough, because you're going to get out there and you're going to get told no a whole lot. You know, you just got to embrace it, you know. But just think about it this way. Every no that you get is one no closer to a yes. So you're going to get no's. And the great thing about door knocking is, if you're doing it right and you're doing, you know, the right things, you're doing a lot of things we're going to talk about here in just a second. If you're doing all those, the yeses are going to come. But first, you're going to have to deal with a lot of no's, a lot of I'm not interested, a lot of door closing, a lot of no soliciting signs, all that good stuff. And we'll talk about strategy in just a moment. But you have got to get that through your mind in the very first place. You're going to deal with no. Just get it, just take it and move on. And it's going to be very, very tough, because in the beginning, because your business is so personal to you, and because it's your baby, so them telling you no, it's like, man, like that, it really messes with your psyche. And I say that because I've been there, you know. And you talk to any door knocker, any business owner who's done it, they're going to tell you the exact same thing, man. It messes with you. It hurts your feelings, but you just got to get past that and just say, hey, that it is part of the process. Just like working out. You can't work out and not be sore and then think that, oh, I'm going to be able to grow and get stronger, bigger, faster, all that good stuff. No, being sore is part of the process. Just like hearing no is going to be a big part of the process. But I promise you guys, if you stick with it and you stay consistent, the yeses will come. So embrace the no's, because every no is a step closer to a yes. So just deal with it and move on. Get told no, okay, move on. That's all I can say about that. Just embrace it and move on. All right. Now let's go ahead and break it down. Your strategy and your execution. This is what you guys want to pay close attention to. Because we talked about who door knocking is for. We talked about why it's important. We talked about some of the benefits, some of the challenges. But now we're going to go into the strategies and executions on how to properly door knock, how to do this the right way so that you can be the most efficient and so you can hopefully grow the fastest. First and foremost, you don't want to just go into it blindly. Open up your AI, talk to ChatGPT, and help it create you a very personalized script. Everything, all the best salesmen in the world, they all use scripts. And even when they don't use scripts, they've perfected their scripts so much that you don't know that they're using it. But I promise you, everybody has a script. All the most successful people, they have a script, because when you try to go into it and just wing it, it's not going to sound very good. I promise you. And you're going to want to be authentic, and that's part of the script. getting so good that it is authentic. Make a very authentic script, and then really, really spend your time perfecting it. I cannot stress that enough. Don't just go onto a door and just knock on the door and thinking that, hey, I'm going to be authentic and just tell them, because then you're going to freeze, you're going to mess up. And even me, during these videos, I use ums and I stutter and I use words that I don't want to use because I've got a little bit of a script right here, but this is my key points, and you can hear it when I'm talking, when I'm stuttering, when I'm using those ums and the things like that, like right there. You want to perfect it so you're not doing that as much. I'm trying to work on it right now. That's another reason why I make these videos, so I can get really good at my speech. So work on a script. Here in just a second, before I end the video, I'll talk about some of the things I use, but work on different scripts and have multiple scripts, have many, when you go to homes that have no soliciting signs, you want to have a specific script for that versus a script that doesn't have any signs like that. You don't have to worry about that. That's one kind of hurdle that you can get over right away. But just think about everything that you see on a daily basis as a technician, as a salesman that you've seen, and create scripts in your mind, no, not in your mind, just create actual scripts and work on them. Work on them with your wife. It sounds silly and it sounds crazy, but I promise you guys, you're already starting your business, so you're not like everyone else. So don't be like everyone else and be scared to do the other preparation and practice because you're gonna feel weird or silly, dude. Fuck it, man. Who cares? This is your business. This is your life. So work on those scripts. Work with your wife, with your kids, with your mom, your sisters, whoever you can. Work on these scripts. Perfect it. Talk to them. Get their feedback because it will help you. I promise you, it really, really, really will. So work on your scripts. Next thing you want to do, and it's important whenever you're door knocking, is you want to have professional and branded clothing. And that's why I wore specifically what I'm wearing for this video. Polos are perfect for door knocking. You're going to see, especially in the summertime, all these college kids that are in shorts and the polos, exactly what I'm wearing right now, and I've even got shorts on right now. But they're going to be wearing this exact, uniform, and there's a reason for it. Again, it's clean, it's professional, and it's hot out there, so you don't want to be in just the full long sleeve. Well, maybe you do, and we can talk about that in just a second, but it's hot out there, so you want to set yourself up for success as well as taking care of yourself, because it does get really hot out there. You're in the sun, it's hard, so you want to be comfortable because you're going to spend a day, 2 days, multiple days a week just knocking on doors, and that can be exhausting. You're going to get your steps in, I'll tell you that, but again, you don't want to just show up to a door with nothing that says who you are. You have a branded shirt, have a nice branded hat, keep multiple hats on you. Have a service hat. I've talked about that before. Have your hat for your service that you can sweat in. That's gross. I mean, we're all like that. And then have hats that you can wear that whenever you're going to eat lunch, whenever you're going to go meet people, whenever you're knocking on doors, stuff that looks more presentable and more professional, because first impressions, they do mean everything. And if you knock on a door with a white shirt that's just brown and gross, you just give off a bad impression right away. It's like, man, I get it, he's working, but it just looks gross. You don't want to do that. So be professional, have a really good clean hat, have a clean shirt. If you're gonna have your shirt and pants, tuck in your shirt, make sure it's not full of wrinkles. All those things matter. They will make a difference. I promise you they will make a difference, because if you knock on a door and a woman answers and she sees me, clean, tucked in shirt, clean shaven, or at least neatly trimmed and all that good stuff, versus somebody who's not, who's the opposite, and I see it so often, somebody with wrinkles and stained shirts and their hats just dripping sweat, and you can see the sweat stains everywhere, and they got a patchy beard. it's not a good look, and they're going to automatically give me the time of day versus that person. So keep that in mind when you're door knocking. Have specific shirts that you want to knock on doors in. Have specific hats that you want to knock on doors in, and dress the part. Again, just make sure it's branded so you know they know who you are. They can look at your shirt, they can look at your hat and see exactly who you are. And again, you just look professional. The next thing is timing. When do you want to knock on doors? Do not show up at a door at 8 a.m. Don't do that. I'm going to tell you right now. You don't want to be that person. Even door knockers and all the companies, they don't do that. They start their door knocking 10, 11 a.m. and they work until into the night, really. And there's a reason for that. One, it's too damn early to go knocking on doors at 8 a.m. during the school year. Kids are, they just dropped their kids off. Kids are still sleeping, or parents are rushing. It's everything is happening in the morning, and it's happening quick. And if you knock on a door early, you're just going to be a hindrance. You're going to automatically set off a bad impression, and they're going to want nothing to do with you for messing up or disturbing their day. So do not do that. I'm telling you right now, do not do that. A good time to start is maybe 10 or even 11 a.m. They've already had their coffee, so they're not going to be in a mood. They've gotten the stuff in the morning that they need to knock out, and so their day is a little bit more on autopilot. So a disturbance in the day isn't nearly as bad for them. So you can go knock on the door, and you're not going to get the same person that you would have at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or even before 10. So, and that's an ideal time. In the evening time is good, after 5 o'clock, because now typically most people have already, their work day is complete. They're at home, and that's what you want. You want to knock on doors and for people to answer those doors, because you're able to build that relationship. You're able to say hello, introduce yourself. And so in the evenings and after afternoon, now they're home. So it's a great time. And then if you really want to kick it up a notch, get out there on Saturday, show up on, and then you could even do a little bit early, again, not too early because everyone's sleeping in. So 10 a.m. is a good time Saturday, and knock, for the next few hours. You're going to have some success with that because, again, everybody's home typically on the weekends, and they're 9 times, or not 9 times out of 10, but a lot of times they're going to be outside cleaning the garage, doing yard work. So you go up, you show them, you rake a little bit, you help them move something heavy, you do something. Now you're in a position to really help them out and to talk to them, because a lot of people are outside on the weekend. So Saturday is a really, really great time to do so. It takes away from you, but again, if you're willing to do it, it's a really great day to do so, because you're going to have a lot of success on Saturdays. So again, those are the really good times to do it. And then, just kind of, read the room and read the signs. If you're door knocking on a street and you see no cars in the driveway, chances are they're probably not home. I mean, they might have the car in the garage, but a lot of people work. And in today's day and age, there's a lot of, dual families at work, wife and husbands at work. So don't be, surprised if you're not getting people that open the door that they're at work. But if you do see multiple cars in the driveway, hey, go ahead and roll that dice, because there's a chance that somebody's home. So go ahead and knock on the door. That being said, also understand where you're knocking, right? If you're knocking in very, very low income neighborhoods, you're probably not going to get a lot of contracts and service agreements for long-term pest control. You might be able to do a lot of one-offs, and there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, let's just call it what it is. You might deal with a lot more roaches in these, so if you can have cheaper prices and you can go over there and say, hey, I'm here. We have a great cheap price for this neighborhood, or for people over here for today and tomorrow only, things like that. You might be able to have a little bit of success, but you do with that what you will, because you're probably not going to get a whole lot. You might just get those one times, and they're going to ghost you. Or so again, you just understand the demographics and all that stuff of where you're knocking. Go to a nicer neighborhood, where it's some nicer homes, where the incomes are a little bit higher. You might have a little bit more success over there. You can have higher contract values, all that good stuff. So know where you're knocking. And also, get you and this is a strategy I took from Jason. Get you a notepad and just write it down. You don't have to necessarily draw a map. You can get a map of the area, or you can just write it down. Say, okay, this neighborhood, and then just go down and list the streets, and then you can know, hey, it's Johnson Street over here, and just knock all of Johnson Street, and you can mark it off that you knocked Johnson Street. If you really want to go in depth, write all the addresses down, and you can color code it. I mean, the thing with door knocking, it again is it's time consuming, but if you spend the time to really map it out, and you go and you create your own system of how to knock these doors, list the addresses and color code them. Hey, you knocked over here. They said no, they wanted nothing to do with you. Put an X through it, a red X through it. Now don't knock that door. You've already done so. If you had a success with it, put a green one. Hey, I knocked it, I sold it. Use them as an example. Get really, really highlight that one, because what did you do right at that one? And then your next one is use a blue marker to say, hey, they knocked, they were interested, but they said not right now, to come back. If you said any follow-ups, be sure to go to those follow-ups. If you say yes, I can come back later on, then do that, because you're going to build trust with them, and now they can trust that you're going to come back and do what you say. But again, create your own system, however you'd like to do it. You can have a binder with tabs that are specific neighborhoods, have the addresses. I mean, really create your own system that works best. You know what works best for you, so figure out a way to implement that and do it. And it's really going to help you. If you just say, I'm going to go knock on this neighborhood and on this street, and you just go park and you go knock, yeah, that's doing something, but you want to be very tactical in your approach, right? You don't want to just, you don't want to shotgun approach it. You want to really sniper. And so, again, figure out a great way and a great system that works for you, and it'll make all the difference in the world to do that way. And again, use ChatGPT. I use it, and I stress that because it can help you out so much. All you can do is turn that microphone on, tell it exactly what you want. It'll give it to you. Tweak it and say, okay, yes, I want that. Except now, mark out, 1, 2, and 3, because I already knocked on those homes, or whatever it is that you want to do. But use the tools that you have available to you to help you. That's as simple as I can tell you, as simple as I can make it for you, is use those tools. ChatGPT is such a phenomenal tool that you can use and say, hey, give me this neighborhood right now. What are the streets over there? Okay, now you have a starting and a base plan, just a plan of attack, right? And now all you have to do is go and execute it, all right? So again, preparation. Set yourself up for success. And by doing these things, you're going to do that. So have a script, dress professionally, have a plan of attack, know when to go, and then next thing you know, you make sure you have business cards and flyers. Flyers, if you can afford it, business cards, they're super cheap. You can get 500 business cards for like $50, $20, something like that. It's very, very inexpensive. So do it, use it, and get out there and knock those doors. Now let's talk about the approach real quick, right? So we all see it, we all know it, how annoying really pushy door knockers can be. And you don't want to be there just knocking on the door. Hey, hi, my name is Jorel with Confidence Pest Control. We're actually helping your neighbor John 2 houses down. If they know that 2 houses down their neighbor is not John, they already know you're a fucking liar. So don't be full of shit, all right? And that's the same exact script that everybody uses, and they use it for a reason, because it works. They're hoping that there is a John. Let's just hope that there's a John down the street, or let's hope that they don't know that there's a John, or if there is. Because we can just say, just use a generic name, say, hey, we're helping John down the street, and we want to help you out too. Don't worry, we're not a salesman. We just want to set up a free inspection, things like that. Dude, they've all heard it, Again, the goal is just to be different. So don't come at them with that same old bullshit, because they can see right through it, and you're just going to look like a fool to them. So have a little bit of a different approach. Think about who you are and tailor it towards who you are. Be authentic. Like I said, have a script, but make that script to who you are. If you're naturally a more funny person, create a script that's naturally a little bit more humorous, so that you can tie that in and you can get them laughing, you can get them smiling, and again, you can be successful with it. But if you're just a very, very serious person and then you try to use that funny script, it's automatically going to come off as bullshit. So be very careful with that. And again, make the script tailored towards who you are. One of the things that I've found that works for me is be compassionate, be real, be genuine. When you knock on the door, for me, I say, hey, listen, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to bother you, and I'm not trying to sell you anything, or because you are trying to sell them, so you're not trying to lie. I say, hey, I'm so sorry to bother you. My name is Jorel, and I recently started my own pest control company. It's locally owned, veteran owned, and honestly, I'm just trying to spread the word. Is it all right if I give you a business card? And they'll say yes. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. You might get a couple of the people that say that we're not interested, or that we already have somebody. Say, hey, great. Okay, not a problem at all. Thank you for your time, and move on. That helps you so much more. And with those people that were nice, that you were able to give a card to, check it off and say, okay, now I'm going to follow back up with them. In 2 weeks, I'm gonna follow back up, because chances are you might make a sale. You're gonna make a sale somewhere in that neighborhood. So come back over there and say, hey, my name is Jorel. I actually stopped by a couple weeks ago and left a business card. And I'm doing a service here in your neighborhood. I honestly, you were super nice. I just wanted to swing back by and see if there's any way or anything I can do that could possibly earn your business. Again, because I'm already on the street. Compliment them, be nice, things like that. They go a long way, and you might have more luck. Like I say all the time, a no isn't always a permanent no. It's just a no right now. Maybe you don't need anything. They don't need you right now. But in that 2 weeks, they've started seeing mice inside. They started seeing ants inside, and you show up. Now you're the hero that saves the day. So show up again, follow up. It's very, very imperative that you do follow up. Even if, you didn't ask if it's okay to follow up or anything like that, follow up anyway. Say, hey, I came by a couple weeks ago. I dropped off a business card. And I was in the neighborhood again. You were super kind. I just wanted to see if there was anything that I could do to possibly earn your business, because I am a local business owner who just started their pest control company, and I'm trying to grow. And again, they're a lot more receptive when they know that you're the business owner, and 2, you just don't approach them like every other salesman does. So that's a really great thing for you to do. Another tip that I will recommend is, again, have a business card that stands out. For me, I always use, I've got one right here. It's very simple right there, Confidence Pest Control. But on the back, I've got a picture of my family. People love that. It breaks down the walls immediately because they see that I'm a family man. They see, what I'm about. They see my family, and it is just a little bit more genuine, a little bit more heartfelt. You're able to see, all right, he's not some asshole, just some 20-year-old kid who's just, doesn't, he's just college, just here trying to make some money. No, you see my family. So all the subconscious things that go through their mind help you out with that. So have a card that's memorable, because a lot of times, and I'm aware of it, most times my card probably just gets thrown away. They probably grab it, they look at it, they set it down, and then the next time they're cleaning their house, they just throw it away. So it is what it is. I'm aware, but it's just, again, it's part of the process. But one thing, and this and the next thing I'm about to talk to you are both ideas that I got from my buddy who does door knocking. And they're great ideas. I've had a lot of success with my business card. The next one is an even better idea that I recommend to any of you guys. If you can fork up a little bit of the money to do so, it's going to help out a lot, because in the spring and summertime when the flies are bad, everything's out there, what he does is he has a fly swatter. And in the middle of the fly swatter, it has his pest control company and then the phone number. And he'll go and he'll knock on the door, and if no one's home, he'll leave that fly swatter. It's great because it's different, right? It's automatically different. And when they see that, it's something that they can use. It's not just a business card where they're going to say, oh, just throw this away. Hey, this fly swatter, hey, the flies are bad. I can actually use this. So you're automatically positioning yourself, differently than everybody else, right? And then now you have something to follow up with. So when you come back in 2 weeks, in a month, whenever it is, later on that day, you've got a leg up. Now you say, hey, my name's Jorel. I'm with Confidence Pest Control. I actually swung by a couple days ago and left a fly swatter on your porch. And they're going to say they say, oh yeah, I saw that. I've actually been using that, or whatever it is, but it's memorable because it's different. And that's the key to it. Different is memorable. If you're the same as everybody else, they're not going to remember you at all because you're exactly the same. But when you do something that's a little bit different, now you stand out, and the mind automatically remembers it. You're triggering subconscious things in the mind to be memorable, right? So leave a fly swatter or whatever it is. Find something that can be relatable to you, to your business, to you personally, to whatever it is that you want to do, and incorporate that. Again, pest control, a fly swatter, they go hand in hand. So that's what he does. When he comes back, he knocks on the door. He says, hey, I left a fly swatter. They say, oh, yeah, thank you for that. We've actually been able to use it. He's like, great. So you are seeing flies. Well, what other kind of pests are you seeing? Again, that door is open. Now you don't have, again, that door is open. So now it's open to conversation. And you've got, maybe not a foot in, but you've got a toe in, like I say. So you got something to talk about, and that wall, even if it's not broken down, it's a little bit lowered, right? So it's a great thing, great idea. I've loved that idea. I don't want to take it from them right away. But you're in a different market than me. Wherever you're at, that's something that you can use. Be different, use a fly swatter, come back and say, hey, I left that fly swatter. Like I said, they're not going to throw it away. The chances are going to be higher that they use it or that it's on the counter. And I know because I go to my houses of the customers that I have and I see his fly swatter on the counter. I'll say, hey, that dude's terrible. You don't ever want to use him. Get rid of that. I'm just kidding. I don't ever, nothing but love. But things like that are going to differentiate you, and it's going to help your approach. You're going to have something to talk about, and it's just going to help you get those sales. So think about things that you can do. Talk with ChatGPT. I say that, just talk with it. You can, brainstorm with ChatGPT. You will see me almost every night on my phone just. And my wife doesn't even, she knows that I'm not texting anybody or chatting with anybody. All it is ChatGPT. I'm sitting there just typing away, just getting ideas and working on things that I can do that can be different, that I can use to grow, all that good stuff. So again, use it, just use it, bounce ideas, and really brainstorm on things that you can do that are specifically, because after you talk to ChatGPT a lot, it's scary how much of it kind of understands and realizes about you, but it's also helpful. You can ask it, hey, what do you think about this? And it'll say, hey, because of who you are and the things that you do, these are some good ideas, and use them. Again, you're getting outside of the box ideas and something that's not your own. So it's a really great tool. But those are some of the strategies, some of the approaches that you can use, things that I know for a fact because I've been successful with it. And he's been successful with it, and there's thousands of other companies that have been successful with door knocking, and if they can all do it, you can too. So the key to all this is just being consistent. Set yourself up with the goal, right? So this coming up week, you're gonna see this video whenever you see it, but if you see it today or tomorrow, set a goal. Say, all right, today I'm going to go knock on 25 houses. Or say, I'm going to go talk to 20 potential customers, because you might knock on 25 houses and only 5 of them answer. So you might, set a different goal. Say, I'm going to talk to 20 different homeowners, and go out there and don't finish your day until you've done that, because that is the key. It's a numbers game. You're going to work, and I promise you, by number 20, your script, your approach is going to be so much better than it was on house number 1, 2, and 3. It's going to be exponentially better, so just do it. And then use that momentum that you've built to go the next day, or if you're doing it the day after, whatever your schedule is, use that momentum and everything that you took. So now on house number 20, how confident you felt, that momentum that you've built, now you're starting with that momentum on day 2. And imagine how good you're going to be on house number 40 and 50. You're going to be so much better. So just get out there and stay consistent with it, because that really is the key to success with anything, is just staying consistent. Do not settle with, hell, I knocked on 10 doors and I didn't get any yeses, so I'm going to go throw a fucking fit and bitch about how door knocking doesn't work. No, dude, you've got to get out there. Go knock on 20 different houses and do 50 different neighborhoods. If you can do that, you're going to learn so much about yourself. You're going to build so many skills, and you're going to learn the importance of consistency, and you are going to fucking crush it. So do it. Set a goal. Get out there and do it. And then come back and let me know how you've done. I want to hear about it. I want to know the success that you're having. What's working for you? I want to know. Everybody else wants to know. The worst thing that you can do, in my opinion, is have something that works and then keep it close to the chest, because you're not helping anybody. And I don't want to do that. I give all the information that I have at absolutely no charge. I'm not charging you guys to watch this or to learn. I want you to grow, because a rising tide lifts all ships. It helps the industry, whatever industry you're in. We can help each other. Same market or not. I say it over and over again. My buddies, we talk daily, and we are 5 miles away from each other. We're knocking on the same doors. We have customers that are neighbors. It is what it is, Hey, if I can't do it, and I refer them business all the time, I don't like to do WDI inspections. Over the past week, I've fed Jason and Johnny multiple WDI inspections, because it's not what I do. I'm not afraid to help them, I'm not. If I get anything in return, then hey, then that's cool. If I don't care. I'm just here to help. So get out there, knock on the doors, help each other out. Let me know what you've done. Comment, that way I can talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, let me know. Message me what worked, and I'll tell everybody else what you're doing and what is working. So share that information. I promise you're going to help people, and it's going to be fulfilling to be able to know that, hey, what I did helped others, and that's a whole different level of fulfillment. I know, because that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because helping you guys, it really brings me a lot of joy. I want to see every one of you succeed. So That's about it for today. I know it was still a very long video. The next one, we'll bring it down a little bit so that it can not be so long. I always feel bad about these extremely long videos because they're time consuming. But if you've stayed this long, then I really appreciate it. If you liked this video and you thought it was helpful or anything like that, then do me a favor, hit that like button, even comment what you did like, what you didn't like. I want the feedback, guys. And if there's anything that I can do to help you guys, please do not hesitate to comment or even reach out. I'm very, very easy to get a hold of. I'll drop my email as well as my link to my website, which you can Google, you can call me, you can reach out, and I'm more than happy. I'm extremely happy to talk shop with you and do whatever we can to help each other grow. But until then, get out there, hit the pavement, knock on those doors. I challenge every single one of you who watches this video to go knock on at least 25 doors this week and then let me know the results. But until then, you guys, keep grinding, keep hustling, keep knocking on doors. Take care of yourselves, and as always, stay confident.